morning. It's Weezy FS1. Skip the BS and put everybody after BS. PS, all I spit is FACTS. The best, skip Bayless, yes, say less. Top of the top, apex, everyday flex. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', I ain't trying to hate. Let's have a Jordan and LeBron debate. I got time today, dripping on the chain. My diamonds say what they gotta say. If you think it's a game, I commentate, I ain't gotta play. On in the morning, I own my opponent. My competition is not an issue, it's cotton tissue. Unconventional, controversial, convoluted, unconditional, undeterred and undisputed. Good morning.
Good morning. It is time to skip the BS. Time for Undisputed. Time for Paul Pierce to gloat about his Celtics sweeping those Pacers to return to the NBA Finals. It's also time for me to gloat about winning yet another dinner from Paul Pierce, who gave me the Pacers plus 10. Jeez. Because he and Keyshawn thought the Pacers were already mentally on vacation. Nope. Pacers were up 9 with 8.5 minutes to go. They're up 4 with 3:33 to play, yet the Pacers failed to score a point from that point on, had 2 more terrible turnovers, finally lost by 3, 105-102. Still, for the 3rd time in 4 games, the Pacers easily could have won another game. Man, you have to wonder if the Pacers would have won the last 2 at Indiana if they'd had their point guard and their best player, Tyrese Halliburton, who, of course, missed the 2nd straight game with some kind of hamstring injury. So, Paul Pierce, any concern at all about how close these games were? You are laughing at
look. Is this the look of a concern?
Ooh.
Because this is what the Indiana Pacers doing. They got their shades on with their feet up in Cancun right now.
You think they're already in Cancun?
Oh, yeah, already.
The crazy thing in your lead-in, Skip, when you said that we thought they would already be on vacation, I said it was a lot of American Express charges last night. That's the first thing I thought. They getting them tickets, private jets, however they get there, but they are on vacation, Paul.
Man, you know what? No concern, Skip. I actually enjoyed that these games were close for the simple fact that when you look at how we played in the regular season with the average margin of victory being 11 and, people expecting us to win mighty handily, for us to endure comebacks in 3 of the 4 games, and this could have easily been a series. When you look back at it, we swept it. This could have easily been a series where we could be talking today being down 3-1.
You could.
But we're not.
But you're not.
And the reality of it is we're on to the NBA Finals. This team showed me a lot. I wondered if they would be challenging. People are going to say, yeah, they had the easiest road. In round 1, no Jimmy Butler, no Donovan Mitchell. But sometimes these are the most difficult teams to play against, Skip. And I'm going to tell you why Indiana had a lot of success versus the Celtics. For one, when you go into a series, you get your scout report and you'll be like, all right, this is the head of the snake. We need to cut this off. We need to stop this and stop that, which is Halliburton. Now you take Halliburton out of the equation. Now what's the scout report? Now you got a lot of unpredictability. You got guys that's going to step up. They're going to move into roles that you don't expect. And that's why you see guys like Neesmith and Nembhard.
Yep.
These guys
they
outperform what they're originally supposed to do because in the scouting report, it gets unpredictable when you're saying, all right, these are the stars we have to face. This is what we have to do. This is the game plan.
Yeah.
And so when it doesn't happen that way and you have the stars out, it's like, oh, the unpredictability sets in, and that's why Indiana was successful. But for the simple fact that we were down by 5 in game 1 in the 4th. We were down by 9 in game 3 in the 4th, and we were down by 9 in game 4 in the 4th and won all those games. That shows me we can play in tight games. That shows me we can play down, and that shows me that we have the ability to come back. Now, I don't care about the talent. You're going to say, oh, it's not Luka and Kyrie, it's not Ant-Man. Doesn't matter. When you have the know-how and when you've been through them type of experiences, it comes back to you when you get in those moments again. And so I'm glad they played these games. They did what they were supposed to do. 4-0. They've only lost 2 games. They're 12-2 in the playoffs. And hopefully they get Porzingis back because they're going to need him if they have to play Minnesota or Dallas.
You still making a case for Minnesota?
You know, you could never count on, you know, and did say he want to go out and make his.
He was never making a case for Minnesota.
Never making a case.
He just did.
Dallas. I mean, we know it's probably most likely, but in case somebody decides they want to make history,
okay,
we'll be ready for them.
Right.
And so I'm excited with the way they went. And our nuclear weapons, we're going to get to them a little later.
You know, no concerns, Skip, close games. I think it's good for them. I honestly do, because they've been through some heartache and pain as a young tandem. They have. They've gone to the final and lost. They've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost. And so there's something about getting there and getting punched around before you actually do something about it. And I think in this situation, they showed me they could do something about it. You go to, like Paul was talking about, you go to game 1, They Pacers led with about $1.50 on the clock by 5. They take it into overtime with a big shot in the corner by Jaylen Brown. Now, they get that when they steal it, they keep it moving. Then they just basically cruise in game 2. All right? It wasn't quite the blowout, but it was convincing win.
No, it was Jaylen Brown special.
Yeah, it was a convincing win. Then you get into game 3, and they was down as much as 18 at once upon a time.
They were.
Closed the gap down to 8 again, then they finally won the game. Then you get to game 4 with 8 led by the Pacers, led with about 6 minutes to go by 8. Then they closed that gap. And then they, White from the corner knocks that thing down. And the Pacers, from an offensive standpoint, didn't score another bucket for about 3:33 into the game.
Last 4
last 4 minutes or so. So when you start to put it all together, it's like, when I hate
they showing you all the ingredients.
I hate them, but I hate the Celtics, not the players. The players are fine. It ain't their fault that they getting checks.
You hate the brand? You hate the brand?
The brand. I don't like the brand because I just don't like it. But it's not Tatum and Brown's fault that they happen to put on that green and white. And when you look at it, it's almost like you root for them because I want to see them young guys win a championship, something that they've been on the edge of doing since they've been in the league, and it's yet to cash in. But now, getting to whether it's Dallas or whether it's going to be Minnesota with a crazy comeback, they're on a 12-2 run. Now, that 12-2 run, that's pretty, I guess you would call it dominant in terms of the playoffs. Although a lot of teams that they faced along the way was missing some pieces to the puzzle. But at the end of the day, they brought out the broom. No matter what, they knocked down the cans that was in front of them, and that's all you really could ask for.
Did they knock them down or just ease them over a little bit?
No,
Did they
knock
just
them down.
Tip them over?
Knock them down.
Yeah, I don't know if they knocked them down.
But look, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, I would argue with people, played pretty good in this series. They played pretty damn good.
They both averaged 30. What you mean pretty good?
Well, some of you looking at the points. I'm looking at how they played.
Yeah.
Because I can shoot the ball 40 times and get 30 points. I mean, so I don't look at it that way. How did they play? Up and down on both ends of the floor.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, talk to me.
I'm here to tell you.
Talk to me.
Your team has not been fire tested yet.
No?
Your team has cakewalked through the East. It has played down to the level of competition that was almost always without its best player at every step of the way. And it should be concerning to you, if not downright flat out scary to you, that these games kept going down to the wire because they shouldn't have. Especially if you take Tyrese Halliburton away at Indiana, especially if you're up 3-0, then you should win by 30. And you guys both thought it was going to be a blowout.
That's what I mentioned.
I thought that they would win by, what did I say, 11?
Well, they didn't.
No,
because Indiana did not go home for the holiday. They did not.
But, Coach, a win is a win is a win.
Okay, it was. And I will give you this. They did fight back 3 different times. The first time that they needed a whole lot of help from the other team, and they got it. And the truth was they needed some help last night from the other team, and they got it. Okay, let's look carefully at what just happened last night.
Let me hear it.
Okay, let's look at 8 minutes and 35 seconds left. You were down 9 points, And little tiny T.J. McConnell gets loose again. He has a knack for getting loose in the lane at about 5 feet 5 inches tall. And here he is, and he gets a sweet little feed from Siakam.
And misses the layup.
How do you miss that? How do you miss that?
And we come down to hit a 3.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown came right down and went kabang.
Exactly,
right?
yep.
And he ripped it as clean as you can rip it, and it felt like it kind of ripped at the hearts of the people in Indiana.
That was it right there.
This was the game, because that's 11 now. Yeah. And I don't know if you come back from 11. Just psychologically, 11. It's like 11?
Yeah, I agree.
But what does that do for Indy?
It puts them up 11 instead of we come right down.
I'm not even talking about the score. I'm talking about if they would have win the game. What does it do? They go back to Boston and they lose.
Okay.
So you want to go?
Maybe they don't.
You want to? So you want to pack your bags?
They were saying Halliburton probably would have been able to play in a game 5.
But still, Skip.
What happened in game 1 at Boston? What happened?
But then they
won the game.
But then they roll out.
Or did they lose the game?
No, we won.
Yeah.
But they go back, Skip, and they roll out Porzingis now.
Okay, maybe. I'm just talking about last night. I can only react to what I saw in that little bubble last night.
That's why I asked you, what is that going to do for them?
Okay, well, now you're going big picture, and I'm staying little picture. And then we had Jaylen Brown, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't intentional, but he cold-cocked little T.J. McConnell and just knocked him on his literal tail. If we could see this, I thought you just have to call it a flagrant, whether it was intentional or not, but he just caught him.
No, this wasn't no flagrant. This is playoffs. He went for the ball.
Oh, God. He just popped
turned into that.
I know it's open-handed, but that's a cold cock to me, man.
I mean,
you know what that looked like to me? That looked like Embiid on Jalen Brunson.
No.
Like I'm just tired right now, and I'm tired of y'all. Because that was chippy. Jalen Brown had some chippy moments in this game, though, now, Paul. Yeah, that's that dirty parquet floor stuff y'all be doing.
Jaylen Brown would never do that.
That might have been accidental. It didn't look like
he wouldn't do that intentional. That was accidental. It looked accidental on the replay. I mean,
and then you
can't call every play when somebody gets hit a flagrant. This is playoff basketball.
But I thought the rule was anything above the neck is just a flagrant foul.
Come on.
Come on, man.
I mean, that's just like the way football is now.
No, it's not.
It's just man, you touch a goal, you just...
Because you get hit like that in football, you getting up, you ain't going to lay down on the ground and act like Paul Pierce and go get a wheelchair.
Y'all got helmets on. Got helmets
We're not going to get in this conversation?
he did get up, and he came soon right back into the game. But he took a double shot because he took one right to the face and on his tailbone. He hit hard on his tailbone because he completely lost his legs out from under him. Okay, did that affect him down the stretch? Maybe a little bit. He scored a couple more buckets.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip. That affected him.
Okay, so 3:33, Pacers still up 4. Siakam makes a shot, and your head coach has to call a quick timeout. And I'm thinking, God, I don't know. Almost sent you the side eyes.
That's when we subbed Jason Tatum, too.
Yeah.
We took Jason Tatum out. Look, we were so confident. We took Jason Tatum out the game.
Because he had 5 fouls.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, but 3 minutes to go, you can live with that. You can live with your star with 5 fouls.
That was a bad coaching move.
That was a great coaching move.
All right, here's what happened to the Pacers from this point forward. 3:33 to close. They score exactly 0 points, and they get outscored 7-0 points. And here's what happened. First, that's a pretty wide open shot by Neesmith, and he missed it. Here we go. Okay,
that's TJ
had a nice,
shot right
that's
there.
his shot, and he missed it.
That's his shot.
But of course, he'd been cold cocked, so maybe he's a little dizzy.
Rebound,
and then here we go again, and Siakam goes inside and just loses the ball. Okay, that's just horrible. That's unforced.
And then just lose the ball again.
And Nembhard loses the ball, unforced error. And
block
then
party.
That's like the easiest block. Okay.
Oh, now he can't shoot, huh?
Yeah, and then
now Nembhard can't make a shot now. When the game gets tight, listen, it's guys.
And by the way, that last shot we saw from Nembhard, that's to tie with, what was it, 33 seconds left.
I mean,
okay, that's how close it came.
The game gets tight. Then you see who the real players are.
All right.
I mean, listen, Indiana battle. Don't take anything away from them. Did you think Nembhard would come out here and average 30 in the last 2 games? I mean, we didn't see that. We didn't see that coming. I mean, he goes from, 32 and then 24. You know he pretty much, good. No, but listen, he pretty much gave you with Halliburton probably would have given you. So it's like Halliburton was still there because Nembhard wasn't playing like this.
Yeah.
In the New York series.
Now they see that he can beat a point and run
Pascal Siakam gave you Pascal Siakam numbers.
Yeah.
The bench, TJ, everybody played well. What do you expect? everybody expects the Celtics to just come out here and blow everybody out because there was no Halliburton. No, that's not how this works. This is the playoffs. Teams schemes. Teams have game plans. And like I said, this was the unpredictability when you don't have your star out there. Now, look, I think it's going to be easier to defend against the Dallas Mavericks for the simple fact that we know what Luka is. We know what Kyrie is. We know what Lively does. Like, you look at this roster, they got Neesmith, Miles Turner, Ben Shepherd, Andrew Nembhard, Obi. We don't know who's going to be the guy that night. And so we don't know, should we trap Nembhard all of a sudden because he's making threes and coming off the pick and roll looking like Halliburton? Should we get the Neesmith all of a sudden? He can just make all these shots all of a sudden? I mean, that's the unpredictability when you don't have your star. And that's what makes you difficult to guard. Now, Dallas, more predictable. I think they'll have an easier time guarding Dallas than they did Indiana.
Are you sure Dallas will have both Luka and Kyrie for game 1, 2, 3? You sure they'll have them? Because they always get hurt. Everybody you play gets hurt, right?
Come on.
You sure they won't both turn their ankle
Well, I hope they're there. We hope they're there.
Okay.
We hope they're there.
You hope they are?
Yeah, we hope they're there. I hope Lively's healthy.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be healthy for the finals. Hopefully they get Porzingis back. Dallas gets Lively and Kleber back. Let's just see. Let's put all the chips out there and see who the best team in the world is.
Well, if Dallas wins tonight, you're both going to have, what is it, like 10 days?
No, about 8 days.
8 days. Well, it's till Thursday. It'd be a week from Thursday.
I don't necessarily like that for y'all, though.
Well,
I don't like.
What you don't like?
Time off for Boston because whenever they've had this time off, they've come out sluggish in those first games.
Well, it'll be 2 teams that'll have time off. Hopefully Dallas do what they need to do tonight. Both teams can get ready, get their scout reports ready, get their film sessions together, get their coaching schemes together.
So you agree that
get their health together.
If Minnesota extends the series, then you probably got a little worry in your blood.
No, if Minnesota extends the series, that's going to be an issue for Dallas.
No, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think it's going to be good for Dallas because they rolling. Well, they still going to have probably, 5 days off or something like that, Skip?
It's a week from Thursday.
They still going to have some time off, but not as much time as y'all. I like going into it kind of hot opposed to sitting around for 9 days being cold.
Well, listen, this gives us an opportunity to heal some of our wounds. It allows us to, Porzingis was reported to come back for Game 4.
Didn't need him, though.
Didn't need him. So now we give him an extra week to be ready. And then whatever injuries that you're dealing with, because everybody's dealing with something right now, from this last series in Indiana, we can get that healed up. Because right now, we're sitting at home like, all right, we're going to scout Dallas. We're going to watch some film tomorrow. We're going to get some shots up, take it easy for the next couple of days, and then we're going to get into it where we can go up and down, get Porzingis some reps, and we'll have a few more days to do that before we're ready for Game 1.
I'm just warning you.
What
it's
you warning
going
me
to be
about?
the Dallas Mavericks, and it's going to be a whole nother level of basketball than what you have experienced.
We expect that. I mean, Dallas Mavericks have beaten, what was the Clippers' record this year? They won 50 games?
Yeah, it was 50, 40, 48, I think.
Okay, they beat the Clippers. That's a pretty good test. Oklahoma City, young pups, number 1 seed in the West, pretty good test. I mean, to me, the only really experienced team they played was the Clippers. OKC didn't go to the playoffs. They beat them. And Minnesota's a young team who's pretty wet behind the ears.
One guy
yes, they are. I mean, they pretty young as far as playoff experience. I mean, Cat Towns has been there for a while, but he doesn't have a lot of playoff experience. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, there's not a really big difference between Dallas's role and the Boston Celtics role when I look at it, when you put it all in perspective.
Okay, I'm going to give you this. The 2 series have mirrored each other in that Dallas keeps coming back and winning close games on the Timberwolves, right? And you kept doing that. But I think the degree of difficulty has been much higher for Dallas than it was for you.
What makes it more difficult?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
3-headed monster.
Yeah, where the 3-headed monster? Where the third head? Where's the third?
Dallas probably had a rougher, not necessarily a rougher, but more challenging playoffs than
I could argue that Nembhard would be the second best player on Minnesota right now the way he played.
Nembhard's pretty good. I'm going to give
That's
you
what I'm saying. I can argue that Pascal Siakam will be the second best player on Minnesota right now. So you can't tell me they haven't been challenged. Like, Dallas hasn't been challenged. Like,
Hasn't been challenged.
they haven't been challenged by Minnesota. Like, Ant-Man hasn't put together a signature game.
No, we're not just talking about Minnesota. I'm talking about the playoffs.
So the playoffs, so tell me where.
Okay.
Tell me where. OKC was...
Did you hear Kyrie on the court as soon as they closed out Oklahoma City and Dallas? And he said, this was the toughest series I've ever played in. I've ever played in.
OKC, you gotta think that was,
all right,
that was down to the wire.
That was tough for Kyrie. In what way? How they defended him? What did you see? What did the eye test tell you?
But the first couple games, Kyrie wasn't even scoring.
He wasn't looking to score.
He wasn't even scoring.
He wasn't even looking to score, was he, Skip?
No.
He was being passive, talking about, I want to play defense, passive. Now that Ant-Man called him out, that's what it looked like. Ant-Man woke him up. And now he's like, all right, let me let the young, let me this young fella, you need to calm down with all that. And it woke Kyrie up. Like, OKC had no experience, no playoff experience as a group. You know, they made the playoffs earlier when they had CP, and that was just a brief playoff stint.
No, but they had a player who's played way better than Anthony Edwards has played.
In Shea, I mean,
in Shea. He played up to his billing.
His billing, yeah, absolutely.
He did the same thing in post that he did in the regular.
He did.
Nothing really changed that much.
I'm going to give you this. You have added one piece that I honor at the highest level, and that is Drew Holiday.
Yep.
He is the pro's pro, and he is playing at NBA Finals level in the conference finals. And I thought he was crucial in the last two games for you to win.
Yeah.
And he made all the big little plays for you last night, including Jason Tatum missed the dagger three at the end.
Rebound.
And if we could see that quickly, there's a big old high bounce offensive rebound that was kind of a jump ball.
Let me go over here. Let me see who.
And this is Nimhart.
Let me get that.
Yeah, let me go get this. And that's ball game.
That's their ball game.
Yeah. Okay.
We just not going to talk about the Derek White three? That's our backcourt, though, by the way. This is our backcourt.
Yeah.
Our backcourt is this guy gets a big rebound tonight. The other night he gets a big stop. And then the other guy over there.
Yeah. Well, let's see Derek White's.
Derek White, he hits the big three.
He did.
He knocked it down.
Because we got trustworthy players down the stretch of games.
First of all,
I'm
going to ask you a question, though, Paul.
Kaboom.
Why is T.J. McConnell sitting in the paint so deep, and then you got the guy in the corner open? Why is he doing that?
That's basketball IQ. You completely left Derek White.
You're supposed to fan out, I would think, right?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know what they're doing. You're not supposed to help from the corner, by the way. I don't know what he's doing. So Jaylen Brown has it going, though. What do you do when you got a two-headed monster and Jaylen Brown driving down the middle of your lane, who's probably dunked on you guys many a time? So he's like, all right, let me go help.
He's doing.
Let me go help. And so, but you leave Derek White. That's the weapons that they have.
The Indiana Pacers play little to no defense. They just don't. How many wide open dunks did you get last night where you said, man, what was that? Well, that was easy, right? How many times did either Jason or Jalen just put their head down and all of a sudden you're saying, oh, they're at the hoop and they just dunked it? There's no defense.
But
Dallas
you don't
will
just
defend those plays.
You just don't make it to the conference finals, Skip. Key. You just don't.
But the Indiana ran and shot their way to the conference finals. That's what they did.
Man. First of all, the Pacers, if the Knicks was fully healthy, y'all would have been playing the Knicks, man.
Highly possible.
Y'all, come on. Stop.
So,
Paul, let's be honest with each other if we're going to talk.
I mean, if where's your if shirt at? Where's your if shirt at?
But you say you just don't make it to the finals of the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals.
It don't matter. Nobody.
I'm like, Skip, the Knicks was out there with me and you.
Yep, they were.
No, it wasn't.
They was dropping like flies.
Oh, man.
Interesting. Paul, the Pacers won the backboards last night 47-44. How could that be?
Man, this series showed me that the Celtics can not play well and still win games.
Interesting.
That's so when you throw out all these stats and you throw out how they were down in the fourth quarter and you throw out they got out rebounded and out assisted and whatever you want to call it.
So, Paul, the team that lives and dies by the three, your Celtics, they were 14 of 44. That's only 31.8%, which is why it was still a game with seconds remaining. Right?
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
So you got to live and die. You got to trust that they're going to make 23s,
No,
right?
because Indiana shot 10 for 29. That's
That's
not going to get it done either.
At least they had a better percentage making threes than you guys did.
That's all right. 4-0. 4-0.
4-0? Yeah.
4-0.
Okay.
After all that, 4-0.
Scale of 1 to 10, my impressed level is probably like a 3.
9, like a
It's
9.
like a 3.
About a 9.
Okay. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.